Sixth, complete a breakthrough. In this episode, we are going through step number 6 of 7 steps, answering the question, how to turn a negative experience into a positive outcome. Get ready, because you will have a breakthrough as you learn this powerful, simple process, this tool that I call the opportunity breakthrough. So I'm Doug Andrew, and I've been helping people utilize tools like this for more than 48 years now. At the end of this episode, I want to gift you a copy of my book, Entitlement, Abolition. It's book number 10 of 12 that I've authored so far, because I'm very passionate about helping you understand how to teach those that you care about, and maybe even you, how to deal with the curveballs in life that are thrown at us, and how to take the negative experiences that we all have and learn from them and turn them into a positive outcome. And I'm going to share this step with you that will help prepare for the final step on how to make this complete transformation possible. So this is what I call the opportunity breakthrough. I'm going to walk you through 2 different ways to do this exercise. So if you have not watched some of the previous episodes, it's contained in this 20-page document that I would love to gift you for free. It's called the Negative Experience Transformer. And so at the end, I'll show you how you can claim your free copy of this along with my book, Entitlement, Abolition, where these concepts are talked about in there. And then also you'll have access to an 18-hour masterclass if you would like. Now, step number 6 is critical once you have sort of changed your thinking to see the opportunity in the challenge or the threat. That's why the last step I talked about the story of Brett Livingston Strong and the Malibu Rock. What everybody else saw as a threat, he saw as an opportunity. So now he had this opportunity to be able to turn what everybody said, oh, this is dangerous. Oh, look at this horrible thing. And everybody's calling that rock this big threat that might kill somebody. And he flipped it and turned it into an opportunity. So how can you do this? I developed a tool to empower people like you to be able to do this. And I've used this tool numerous times with thousands of clients, attendees, students, and my own children and grandchildren. So I have 2 different forms of this exercise. And whenever I sit down with these groups, I want them to set SMART goals. SMART is an acronym that means specific, measurable, attainable, relevant in a time frame. So whenever you fill out these forms, you want to use SMART goals or SMART thinking. You want to be specific, it's got to be measurable, attainable, relevant, and you have to give yourself a time frame of when this is going to be accomplished, okay? This is the main form, which I call the opportunity breakthrough, because you can take any challenge, and as you see the opportunity, as you overcome this challenge, you then write down the opportunity that you're trying to seize here. And then I go through an acronym I came up with that spells BREAK, because this is a breakthrough. B-R-E-A-K. B stands for the barriers. What are the barriers that stand in the way? What are the roadblocks, the hindrances you need to overcome? What are the resources? I usually brainstorm and then circle the top 3 barriers and write them over here on the right. What are the 3 greatest resources that I need to draw from or utilize in order to overcome those barriers and eliminate them? Okay? And I go 1, 2, 3. The next is the E, which stands for what experiences do I have I had, or do I need to have, or draw from other people's experiences in order to empower me to be able to seize this opportunity better. Then I write down those 3 experiences. A is the action. What are the actual specific action steps I need to take to transform this opportunity and have it come to fruition? The final letter is K, which stands for knowledge. What knowledge do I need to obtain or draw from other people in order to be able to see this opportunity come to full living color fruition? So that's called a breakthrough. It's a thinking process. So you can do this on one opportunity, and I'm going to show you why we do this. My wife and I, we have 6 children and 20 grandchildren. This is how we set our New Year's goals every year. We meet in our living room in December, and we pass out a sheet of paper that has this 10 relationship breakthrough. So again, if this is helping you and you can think of somebody who would enjoy watching this episode, be sure and share, click like, post a comment, but subscribe and click the little bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new episode, which I do almost on a daily basis. And so what we do for New Year's resolutions is we take 10-15 minutes, and in 10 different relationships in their life, we're sitting in the living room and we're projecting 1 year down the road. When we're sitting in this living room 1 year from today, what has to have happened in this year, okay, for us to be happy with the progress we made in 10 different relationships in our life? And then they fill out the break: barriers, resources, experiences, action, and knowledge they need to have in order to make sure that relationship comes and grows, okay? So usually with our family, we talk about relationship with deity, with spouse, or if it's the children with their parents, or if it's their siblings, or with us, it's our own children. Down here, it would be extended family or friends, and then relationships with their personal physical fitness and so forth. Then you flip the sheet over and you're writing down the financial or self-reliance, what has to have happened during this year for you to be happy financially or with your self-reliance, your mental and intellectual, your business or your job or your school if you're young, your church service or responsibilities, and your civic, what you do for your community. So those happen to be the 10 that we do with our own children and grandchildren. And then they go through and they write down what has to have happened in this year, if we were sitting there, to be happy with that progress. And then I have them write down really quick what are the barriers they need to overcome, the resources to draw from, the experiences to have or to draw from, the action steps, and the knowledge they need to obtain. So as you can imagine, they begin to sit and write down things, and it actually starts to flow pretty quick. Sometimes they get stumped for a few minutes, but it's amazing how they begin to learn. And I put down, like to have a weekly date night and lunches with my wife, to interact with each of my children on their birthdays and how I'm going to do that. How to hold an I remember when retreat with my siblings, might be extended family. And so I write down all the barriers and so forth. I want to do cardio 3 times a week and work out with a trainer and meet with a nutritionist. And that's how I'm going to stay in physical shape. I might flip it over and financially might want to pay off consumer debt, reposition money to a laser fund. And so it's the same process as you go through and you list all of these barriers, resources, experiences, action, and knowledge in each of these 10 areas. Now you talk about a payday for parents and grandparents. We actually meet on a quarterly basis during the year to sort of report how we're coming. And because we all know what everybody's trying to achieve, because we go around and we usually circle 3 and share, then we all can realize we're in this together. So that instead of being a scarcity-minded family where they see you on Thanksgiving have 2 little pieces of pie. Oh, I thought you were going to eat better. I thought you were on a diet. No. Hey, we all cheat on Thanksgiving. How about tomorrow morning we go out and go on a walk or a jog together? Because when you share what your goals are and what has to have happened, you're beginning to seize opportunities, and together we are better. That spells the acronym TEAM. And as you share these experiences, see, a lot of times people say, I don't want to share my goals in case I don't achieve them. No, if you want to dramatically increase the chance of you achieving success, you share it with others you care about and that are cheering for you as you together achieve each other and encourage one another. Does that make sense? So how can you claim your free copy and get this 20-page document called the Negative Experience Transformer? This is part of one of 20 tools that I have in my Entitlement Abolition Masterclass. But the first step is to claim your free copy of the book. So click on the link below, go to entitlementabolitionbook.com. You contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that cost, and then I'll pay for the book and fire out a copy to you, and you'll begin to learn about these concepts, how to teach them to those you care about, whether it's your children, your grandchildren, your employees. We've done this for many business owners. And watch the transformation that takes place. But this is step number 6 that we've just talked about in a total of 7 steps. Stay with me. Go to the 7th step. I'm going to connect all the dots.